Hi, Carson and Maddie. So this week's updated home exercise program, I want you to continue with your breath work with the band. So the band wrapped around, you're in seated, trying to again open and expand through the rib cage into the band. Spend a good minute and a half with some of that breath work. And then we'll move back down onto our backs. And the exercises that we will continue to do are going to be the single leg lift, alternating that. As you warm up with this, the goal would be that the pelvis rests on the mat. The ribs, as much as you can, rest on the mat. Of course, the head and the neck, pretty free of tension and relaxed. After maybe about 10 total, you're gonna go ahead and lift the legs up, moving into our kind of 90-90 or tabletop position, still trying to maintain all those points that we talked about on the mat. And then you can even try a few of your leg changes, breathing, still trying to fill up the rib cage, keeping the abdominals active, the spine nice and long. So again, maybe about 8 to 10 on each leg. I'd like you to keep your single leg circles. So grabbing maybe your band that you use for your breath work, taking the band and looping it around the ball of the foot, holding the band nice and tight. So you may want to cross the straps, holding the band nice and tight. You're gonna circle in the hip joint, maybe about 8 to 10 times on each direction. You want to try to keep constant feedback with the band. So 8 to 10 times. Can you do that while trying to keep the shoulders pretty settled, trying to keep the trunk pretty still? Each direction, 8 to 10 times, circling the leg in the hip joint while the pelvis is nice and still, shoulders nice and relaxed. You'll do that on each leg. New exercise this week is going to be some of our side leg work that we did on Monday. So the idea here and the goal for you to maybe help each other out with is that when you're laying on this side or on a side, you don't really collapse or shorten your rib cage or your spine. So if you feel like there's really an area like where there's a fold or you're really collapsed, you've got to have a little sense of kind of lifting that up so you've got this nice long line and you keep everything nice and open as far as your back. So note that may be a little different from side to side. So from here, you're going to move into some leg lifts, keeping the knee bent. I'd like you to work through maybe about, let's go for maybe about 15 leg lifts on each side. Thank you.